Class, and happy Sunday. I hope you're all doing well and you're enjoying your weekend and enjoying the fact that we are now in April, just a few months left of the school year. It's hard to believe. And the time is going really quickly, so quickly, in fact, that this week we are ending Unit 1 with our Unit 1 test. So this week is pretty straightforward, though obviously you're going to have the unit test on your mind. Please review what I've written here, but I'll just go through it a little bit in detail now as well. We do have our first unit test this week, though. Because we are in an e-learning classroom, there is some flexibility with how you or when you complete the test. So the test has been designed to be written in 75 minutes, just as it would be in a regular classroom. And it's been also designed that way in that you will have 75 minutes, and then there's a grace period of about 10 minutes, after which point the test will actually shut down. So once you open up the test, you do need to complete it within that period of time. You cannot go back in and out of the test, okay? You do have all week to complete the test, so up until next Monday at 8 a.m. So if you decide you want to write the test Saturday night, that's perfectly fine. Or maybe you want to write it today and just get it done. That's also perfectly fine. So do what's best for you, but you do have until next Monday at 8 a.m. And after that, the test closes completely. You won't have time to do it again. Usually there's a few students that completely drop the ball on this, and then they scramble back and they email me after the test is closed and they say, I forgot to do the test. And I say, you had over a week to do it. You don't have that privilege in any of your other courses in school. So you do need to be on this. You have all week. There's no excuses, okay? You also do need to study for this test. The reason for that is because the same thing that I said about the quiz, e-learning students tend to think that they can get away with not studying for tests because they have their computers open. They think they can just go to their notes and get the answers from their notes or go to Google or what have you, and they don't need to study. I have designed the test so that you do have to study, okay? So what happens with students that don't study is they run out of time, number one, because they're too busy looking at the answers instead of just knowing the answers, which you would do if you were studying. Okay. And also the questions are case study format, meaning that you're going to have to take the information that you've learned from the class so far and apply it to a situation. So these are not Googleable answers. Okay. I'm not asking for, rote memorization. I'm actually looking for you to show me that you know what you've learned, right? That you can apply it. And I'm also going to be asking for you to apply it specifically to the content that we've covered. So I can usually tell 9 times out of 10 if a student has gone to Google to look for the answers rather than the content that I've covered in the course. Okay, so again, it's pretty straightforward. Most people would think that, how do you fail an e-learning unit test? It's actually really easy to if you do those things. Don't do those things. Really, all you need to do is make sure that you're studying from the notes. And as I've said to you throughout the entire course so far, it's really important that you are taking course notes on those slide decks. Because again, if you're in a test situation and you're trying to go back and look for that, it's a lot harder to do. It's way easier if you just keep those good course notes, and then you can study directly from those, okay? You'll have that for this test, for our second unit test, and then for your final exam. Okay, so those are just my tips. Take them at your, as you please. I do have a unit test review sheet for you that was posted last week. And again, it does outline sort of what is expected on the test. And like I said, most of it is case study. I do have highlighted here the major content of the course, like the management theories, the future of work. And again, you're going to be asked to draw from the videos that you've watched, the TED Talks, and any articles as well. So you really do want to review all of that content. And your primary goal in the test is to show me that you've been doing your work. Okay, show me that you've been going through the slide decks. Show me that you know your content. Those students that do that perform very, very well. Okay. Students usually also ask, how much are tests worth in an e-learning classroom? For me, for my course, I'm not a huge believer in testing over projects. Your projects are always weighted around 7 to 9%, and your tests are usually 5 to 6%. Okay, usually somewhere around 5% by the end of the semester. However, they are going to be more heavily weighted for your midterms. So this unit test will be worth more on your midterm mark, which I know is important for grade 12 students with their university and college applications. So again, study, study, study. You have the flexibility of when you write the test this week. You have that, which you don't normally have in a regular classroom. So take advantage of that and make sure you study. I cannot stress that enough. Okay. All right. When you're done the test, or whenever you decide you're going to write the test, the only other responsibility you have this week is to complete an additional blog post. So by now you have 4 blog entries and you submit your blog to me. So for this blog entry this week, you're going to read another chapter of The Magic of Thinking Big. This is a great chapter called Excusitis. I think we can all relate to this in some way. I know that I could when I originally read the novel about 10 years ago. And I find a lot of students really enjoy this one because they can really relate. Okay. So I'm going to ask that you go back into your blog. After you're reading this chapter, you answer the following questions in your blog. And actually, there's one additional question which has been posted in Dropbox. So you might want to check that out. I forgot to include that. I'll try to change that after I do this video. Anyways, there's 5 questions to reflect on based off of this chapter. And you're going to go ahead and you are going to update your blog. And then you're going to post that. I'm going to actually show you where to do that. Sorry, I got nervous. Oh. I'm going to show you where to do that. So if you go into Assessments, Dropbox, and you scroll down, I'm going to ask that you submit your blog update here into Dropbox. So all you have to do is submit your URL, your republished link. Make sure after you've completed the 5th blog entry, so the Excusitis blog entry, you do republish your blog so that when I look at it, it's going to include that 5th blog entry on Excusitis, okay? So you're going to submit that, and then that's it. To find your unit test, if you go under Assessments into Quizzes, you'll see that your unit test is available for you as of this moment in time. Okay, and again, you have until next Monday to complete that. Don't forget to do your participation activity. That's been linked right here. That's your attendance check for the week. And if you have any questions, let me know. The other thing I wanted to also, I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but if you have an IEP and require extra time for the test or some sort of other additional accommodation, I always say to my senior students, just advocate for yourself. While it is my responsibility to know what you need, in an e-learning space, it's actually a bit more ambiguous. So if you think you're going to need more time for the test and it's within your required accommodations, just advocate for yourself and send me an email. I have to set that up individually in Brightspace, so I don't want to forget. I also don't know what you individually need at this point. So again, just advocate for yourself and shoot me an email and I'll make sure that you have that. So when you do write the test, you have what you need, okay? Okay, I think that's it for this week. Again, though, if you have any questions, just send me an email and I always aim to get back to you within 24 hours unless on weekends. I hope you have a great week and I'll see you online.